Chicks Export Limited, Toronto, Canada. Shipping barrels and other cargo to Grenada in 3 weeks, including custom clearing and home delivery to anywhere in Grenada. They source, purchase, and ship new and used anything. Call or WhatsApp Eric, aka Greens, on 416-569-9755. That's 416-569-9755. Check us out on Facebook at Green Chicks Export or email us at greenchicksexport@gmail.com.
Well, it's on the right along, so it's happening here.
Came over here. What does it mean? You know, I grew up in what I guess you call a typical family.
We break all the stories, and that's just a fact. And that's why everyone has a story to tell.
Right Along Live, I mean, yeah, it's the real deal.
Yeah. Welcome to Right Along Live. Welcome to Tuesday on the Ride, day after Memorial Day. Yeah, we had a long weekend, guys. Very long weekend. Festive, celebrated, picnic, spending time with family. At least that's what some people do here in New York for Memorial Day. I spend most of Memorial Day on a flight. Yeah. And a bumpy flight, be that. Yeah. How you guys doing? Welcome to the ride. Linda Blackman, I see you. Thank you so much. Glenda Rennie, welcome to the ride. Guys, as you're coming, go ahead and share up the thing, because today we have a discussion, right? We have a discussion, and it's kind of the first time type of discussion, because oftentimes we speak to people on this program here who are not incarcerated at this point in time. But today we have, I just recently got a chance to speak to this person who is currently incarcerated. And we have a close family friend who is going to be kind of putting this story together for us a bit. It's very interesting what transpired here. Now, the purpose of this conversation is to kind of get some more information, because I think information is lapsed somewhere in the system. Hence the reason why this particular individual is right now going through a 40-year conviction, right? But we'll talk more about it, get into further details about more on that later. But it's an interesting conversation. So as you're coming, guys, go ahead and share up the thing. Share it up. And we haven't done this in a long time. So I'm going to do it right now. I want to do a roll call for the people, because we have so many new supporters, so many new friends. I want to take this opportunity to big you up. So everyone, just tell me where you're from. Just tell me know where you're chiming in from. Just put it in right now. Let me know where you're watching us from. I want to big you up. Yeah, I want to big you up. Share the live, guys. Kenisha Courtney, how are you doing? Let me share it on my page as well. Let me share it here as well. Yeah. Amika Ventor, I see you, Amika Ventor. How you doing? New York. Hey, we got some new supporters, new fans checking in from New York. How you doing, New York? Joan Country is checking in from Canada. Big up yourself. Watching from Florida, Grenada, Nigel Noel. Thank you so much, Nigel, for checking us out from Grenada. We appreciate you so much. Maryland. Gordon Boney, thank you, Gordon Boney. Not only are you a viewer, you're also a supporter, and we appreciate you being a supporter right here on Off Right Along Live. We appreciate you. And all the supporters. Janice Chase, thank you so much. Alistair, we have Jacinta watching from Petit Martinique. Petit Martinique, big up yourself. Los Angeles in the house. Las Vegas in the house. Grenada in the house. Canada in the house. Hello, Riders. Canada, Ottawa. Oh, man. I got to get that. Live TV. Yeah. Live TV, guys. Live TV. Phone just fell. All right. Thank you so much, Keaton. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Let me share the program a couple more times on my page, guys, because I want to connect with the people. Hey, the folks in Jamaica. Thank you so much, the folks in Jamaica. We appreciate you so much. Thank you so much. Yes. Tell us a while we haven't done a roll call. I'm seeing some new faces. Hey, Duncan, watching from Uganda. Thank you so much, Shaquille Bess, watching from Grenada. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. Yes, Glenda. Everybody. We have to big all you up, because always you, the viewers, is who make the show. The viewers, you guys are who actually make the show happen. Beverly, Brianka Smith, watching from Carriacou, and Sasha St. John, watching from Flatbush. Big up yourself, Flatbush. Grenada in the house, Flatbush in the house, everybody. All right, guys, thank you so much. That's it. I go big everybody up at the end of the program, but I just want to show you guys our appreciation for being a part of this ride along program right here. That's it. All right, let me share this program on a few of my Vinci friends page, because I want this to connect to everyone around the world. Go here. All right. Okay. Guys, it's been 11 years. Hold up. There we go. Yeah, it's been 11 years since Mr. Ernest David Gilbert has been incarcerated for sexual molestation, 5 charges, and he is facing ultimately 40 years behind bars. As I said earlier, we got a chance to talk to Mr. Gilbert earlier, and we're gonna play that back. But first, we have a very close family friend. Her name is Cecilia Mitchell. Thank you, Cecilia, for joining us here on the ride to give us some perspective on this story right here. So, Cecilia, welcome to the ride. How you doing, my friend?
Great. Thanks for having me.
You realize it's like the United Nations inside the ride along. I mean, everybody from everywhere is here.
I notice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Nice. All right, Cecilia. So I'm interested to hear a little more details on this particular story, because it has been over 3 weeks that we have been getting constant contact from Mr. Gilbert and his family, because they want to get this story out now. They want people to hear his story, to understand the circumstances, and to get further and to give out further clarification as to what transpired. Hence the reason why you are here to help us piece this whole puzzle together. So, first of all, what's your relation to Mr. Gilbert?
He was married to my sister.
Okay, all right. So you know him pretty well.
Yes.
Okay, good. All right, so help us put this thing together. What actually happened 11 years ago, from your perspective, from what you understood?
Okay, from what I understand is that I'll tell it from the perspective of how I'm involved and where I came in. So Mr. Gilbert was married to my sister and sharing a house with my sister. They also, my sister, being very generous and kind-hearted, had allowed her friend, who has a 14-year-old daughter, to move into the home with them, because they were going to be transitioned into New York, and they wanted someone to be in the home when they were in New York.
So hold on. That 14-year-old, was that 14-year-old a family friend, a relative?
A family friend. So it's the daughter of my sister's friend.
Okay, all right.
So I got a call on a Sunday evening telling me that Mr. Gilbert had sex with the 14-year-old. I brought the 14-year-old to the hospital because I was thinking, she's only 14. Anything can be possible. You having sex with, and she was probably taken advantage of because she's only 14. So I made sure I brought her to the hospital to make sure that if there were any preliminary checkups or whatever the case may be, this would be taken care of. So when she got there, given her age, the authorities had to be involved. So at that time, she told her story that she had sex with Mr. Gilbert, and the authorities went to arrest Mr. Gilbert because of her age. So that's when the law came involved. So then he was arrested and charged with 5 charges. One was rape, like outright rape, and one was child molestation. I don't quite remember what the other 3 charges were. So then he told them that yes, he did have sex with her. However, they still brought it to trial, and he was found not guilty on the higher charges, but he had to be found guilty on the child molestation because she was only 14. When he was sentenced to 40 years, no parole. And this is why this is such a heart-wrenching and, in my eyes, unjustified sentencing. He had no prior record. He had never been in trouble. This happened in his house. In the testimony, it was shown that it was the girl that came over to him who was sleeping on a sofa. He never pursued her. He never went to where she was. She came to him. However, he still got the same sentence as if he had actually held her down, raped her, and destroyed her physically. So that is where we're all saying, okay, yes, what he did wasn't right. He should not have had sex with a 14-year-old. However, we're saying this judicial system is wrong, because if you look at this case and you look at other similar cases, those are not that sentence, 40 years, no parole, is not a sentence that I don't think anyone has gotten for similar charges. So that's why we want to get the story out, and we want people to weigh in and say, hey, what happened here? What happened? Why did this judge give that sentence? Why is it that this young man who had no prior record, was living his life, working hard, very hard worker, married, in his own home, and this is the kind of sentence he got? So that's where our concern is right now.
Yes. What about his representation in court? How was his representation in court?
Well, I'm not a lawyer. However, after speaking with lawyers who looked at the case, the lawyers were saying that he was not well represented in court. Because, first of all, he admitted to the act, and so it should not have been wherein he's tried for the case in the first place. It could have been something that could have been mediated. However, this is where we are. So from the lawyer's perspective, from other lawyers' perspective, he was not well represented. And that's not me saying that. It's just what I've been told, or what other lawyers have said. Other lawyers who, because he's in like the final phase of legal representation right now. So it's other lawyers who are looking at the case saying, this was not great representation.
Do you believe, or is Mr. Gilbert's family the perception of somehow that he was set up by this young lady?
No, I think it was just a case because what happened is he worked all night and he was kind of half asleep when she came over to him. So in my opinion, it was more of this was not thought about. He acted on an urge at the moment, and it wasn't like it was premeditated. I cannot speak for the young lady because I know as a teenager, you do things that you don't even think about as well. She probably also didn't premeditate this. So I can't say he was set up. I wouldn't say that. I think he did not think about his actions at the time.
Right. A lot of people are
He
saying,
did not
well,
think about the consequences.
right. Did he not know her age? Did he make a misjudgment to her age? Do you
As
think?
I said, I do not think there was much thought put into this. So because of that, I don't know what he thought, but it's clear that he did not think. He really did not think of the consequences, and that's what happens when you don't think and you do things. I mean, it has consequences, and you have to suffer the consequences of your actions. The law is the law.
Right. Guys, we're talking here with Cecilia Mitchell, who is a family friend of Mr. Gilbert, who is now serving a 40-year sentence for rape, sexual harassment of a minor. At the time, the young girl was only about 14 years old. Again, we've been contacted by this family over the past couple of weeks because they believe that in this particular case here, based on the fact that Mr. Gilbert had zero prior, he has, well, in their knowledge, he had zero prior sentence or arrest or anything of that sort. And in court, you were saying that, Ms. Mitchell, that the rape was thrown out. So he wasn't even charged for rape, right? So why do you think then that the penalty was so harsh? I'm not saying, and let me make this very clear. I think that any sexual abuse on a minor is wrong. And I firmly believe that anyone who perpetrate or prey on a minor should face the time. I've been very strong
agree.
on that. Right? If you prey on a minor.
I don't want people to think that I am in any way, shape or form saying that what he did wasn't wrong. It's what he did was wrong. We have made that clear. What we are questioning is 40 years with no chance of probation the typical result that the court gives, and that is not what the court gives in a lot of these cases. So
why do you think that
he has no
the judge
chance of a second chance? He has no opportunity for a second chance. 40 years, no parole is not gonna. It pretty much. He's done. He's done. Many people don't survive 40 years in jail. What he did at this powerful moment was wrong. However, the sentence, the lengthy sentence, when you have people who are doing far worse things getting the opportunity to redeem themselves and to get a chance, especially if you think about it, it wasn't, yes, he had sex with her, but it wasn't a case where he preyed on her or he had gone to where she was. She came to where he was. And yes, what he did was wrong, and I understand all of that. I'm just saying our judicial system doesn't really offer the opportunity for him to get another chance because he got no parole.
What do you say a love child Kim is saying that you realize that he messed up this young girl's entire life? He basically took her life. So if that is the case, then why should he not get life? Do you think that was a message that the court was sending?
It's funny that someone would say that, not knowing the case. Yes. If it were a situation wherein he had preyed on her and had held her against her will, yes. In the case, really, this young lady was more distraught about what happened to him because they shared the same birthday, and prior to this, they were friendly. So when you say friendly,
what you mean?
They had a good relationship because as I said, as a family friend, because she's a family friend. She wasn't a stranger. She was a family friend. And prior to this happening, they had a good relationship. So yes, what he did could have messed up her life. But at the same time, what happened to him appeared in with what has happened to her lately. Also, it made it harder because she now feels like she is the reason why he is in jail for the rest of his life as well. So you're
saying that the young lady,
either way, she's messed up.
So you're saying that the young lady feels guilty for what what's happening to him right now?
I don't know if she feels guilty. I won't use that word, but I know that she feels that the whole situation and how it went down and the whole case and the trial and the sentence, all that took a toll on her.
Right. And folks here have to also understand how the judicial system work in the U.S. In the jurisdiction like in the Caribbean, in a lot of cases, if the family or the person decide not to pursue charges, then the charges could ultimately get dropped. But in this particular case here, once it's a crime of rape and this type of statute, the state takes up the case. So it's not like, even if she said, oh, well, I brought myself onto him, or whatever the case is, it's statutory rape because she's underage and she cannot give a decision at the age of 14. So however she feels right now, however she felt, even if she brought herself onto him, it's still statutory rape because she's still a minor at the end of the day.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's still rape. He will be found guilty of those charges either way. There's no excuse. There's no such thing as consensual sex with a 14-year-old. There's no such thing. Once it's a child, it's on the onus on the adult to make sure that it doesn't happen.
What is the family saying? What is the mother saying? What is the father saying? How the family taking this?
I really don't know. I don't know how his family is taking it, but I know from my perspective is what he did was wrong. He should be punished for what he did. However, 40 years with no chance of parole is not in line with what even murderers get. So that is my thing. I'm not saying he shouldn't be punished. I'm just looking at in the context of sentencing. Is 40 years without parole the right sentence in a case like this? That's all. That is my only question that I have.
Right. Someone is saying that they can't believe, John is saying that we can't believe that we're defending that and having conversations about it. Once he's an adult, he should know better.
And I want to say to that person that we're not defending him. What we're saying is is the judicial system a fair system? Is this the charge that other people who have committed these types of crime, is this what they get? We're not saying, we're not defending him. What he did was wrong. We're just comparing. Is his charge and his sentence in line with what other people get? Is this what other people get? Other people who have committed crimes like this, is this the sentence that's handed out typically? And I
Right.
would say, looking at various cases, this is not a typical sentence. So how can we make it that we have a more just system that will sentence people based on the factors that the court put in front of them, and not necessarily have a judge going, oh, I'm going to give you 40 years no probation, when a week ago she gave someone a similar case and gave probation. So that's what we're saying. We're not saying he's right. No one is defending him. We're just looking, because I tell you something, what people don't understand, what happens to one person, you don't know when it's going to be your brother, your child, your family member. So this is what that's why you have to make sure that what happens to another person is fair, because
Right.
you don't know when it's going to be your turn, when you're going to be faced, where you get charged with something, whatever it may be, and you get a lengthier sentence. Don't get caught up on that it's sexual interactions with a minor. Look, it could be anything. Is this the sentence that this person should have gotten? Is
But couldn't-
this a just sentence? Is this the typical sentence for people who have committed this crime? Or were there other factors that played into this sentencing that this young man got? That's all I'm
Right.
saying. No, this is not a conversation about what he did or anything like that. It's about the sentence guidelines. Is this a sentence, 40 years, no probation, for having sex with a 14-year-old in your home that you did not approach?
A lot of people asking this question, so I'm going to put it forward to you, right? How many years do you think that he should get?
That is not
It
for
was
me
you.
to say. I don't know how many years it is. All I'm saying is the 40 years, if this was typical and that's what everyone got, then I would have no complaints. But I know it's not typical. This is not what everyone gets. This is not like what people who have had no prior conviction, who have never been arrested, who have never even gotten anything but maybe a traffic ticket. This is not the sentence that we give young people. 25 years old, getting a 40-year sentence, getting a 40 years without parole. I think he should have been given, even if he got the 40 years, give him a chance to redeem himself. That's all. That's all I'm saying.
All right, guys. We're chatting here with Cecilia. I want to play back the conversation that I had with Mr. Gilbert, because it's important to put all of this into context, how he felt, what happened, and what transpired. I'm going to have this conversation here. But finally, Cecilia, do you think that the judge was sending a message to any would-be rapists or child molester out there to say that this is what you're going to get if you molest a child? Could that be the message that the court was trying to send?
I don't know, but guess what? If this was what they gave everyone, then that would be the message. But if your message is varying from person to person, then definitely that can't be the message. Because as I said, his sentence to me is not one wherein shows that it's the norm. So
Right.
the judge, so I don't think the judge would have been using, if a court is gonna send a message, it will send a message across the board, not with one specific person.
Okay. All right. Let's play back a portion of this conversation that I had with Mr. Gilbert earlier today. We're going to break it up into pieces because it's quite lengthy, and the entire unedited version of that interview would also be posted as to build awareness to his particular case. This is the conversation I had with him just a few moments ago. Hold on. Let me get that. Let me get that audio worked out, and I could play back the audio interview with with Mr. Gilbert. All right, we're working on it, guys. Stay tuned. In fact, let me take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back. Hi, my name is Junior George, founder and host of Ride Along Live, and I'm inviting you to become a paid subscriber to this platform. With your support of just $4.99 per month, you could do so much to help this platform grow and to help us help you and others around the world. We encourage you to click that link and become a supporter today. Thank you so much. We appreciate you.
Sisters and brothers, I ask you to hear me just on this point. Examine the team of the National Democratic Congress. You just examine them, compare them one by one, and what you see is an experienced group of people ready to take this country forward.
I'm Deacon Mitchell, and I endorse this message.
Chicks Export Limited, Toronto, Canada, shipping barrels and other cargo to Grenada in 3 weeks, including custom clearing and home delivery to anywhere in Grenada. They source, purchase, and ship new and used anything. Call or WhatsApp Eric, aka Greens, on 416-569-9755. That's 416-569-9755. Check us out on Facebook at Green Chicks Export or email us at greenchicksexport@gmail.com.
Well, it's on Ride Along, so it's happening here.
Came over here. What does it mean? You know, I grew up in what I guess you call a typical family.
We break all the stories, and that's just a fact. And that's why everyone has a story to tell.
Ride Along Live, yeah, it's the real deal.
David Williams Funeral Service serve you with dignity and compassion as you mourn. Every day, we embark on the journey of life, and one day, the journey will end. It's on that day that you can entrust the celebration of life of your loved ones to David Williams Funeral Service. Call 718-291-3823.
Sisters and brothers, I ask you to hear me just on this point. Examine the team of the National Democratic Congress. You just examine them, compare them one by one. And what you see is an experienced group of people ready to take this country forward.
I'm Deacon Mitchell, and I endorse this message.
The wait is over. The time is now. Get ready for mass. Get ready for mass. Get ready for mass. We are back.
From Right Along Live, keeping you updated with everything happening in your world, from breaking news, election coverage, and a whole lot more. Now, do you have a business that you would like to market or advertise right here on our platform? Then give us a call at 718-701-5720 or inbox us right here on Right Along Live. Take your business to the next level. I'm Junior George from Right Along Live, keeping you updated with everything happening in your world, from breaking news, election coverage, and a whole lot more. Now, hi guys. So we're having a little bit of an issue pulling up that interview. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna copy that interview. Yeah, we're gonna copy that interview and pull it up on the Right Along page. But I'm gonna give folks an opportunity to chime in, because I know a lot of people have a lot to say on this particular case here, and I wanted them to hear his perspective, but the audio is just not playing back. So we give you guys an opportunity to call in. The number is 718-701-5720. We're talking about this incident that happened where this young man was sentenced to 40 years in prison, and he's currently served 11 years. The family had contacted us and they wanted to get that information out there. They're saying that they believe that the sentencing was too harsh for the crime. The time is too much for the crime. That's what the family is saying. And Cecile is here just putting it all into perspective here for us. Mm-hmm. Cecile, you mentioned, and during the interview, Gilbert mentioned about he felt in some way it was a kind of setup in a way, because right after that, the family were able to obtain a green card based on the incident. What do you know about that?
Okay, before I answer that question, let it be clear that I'm not saying his sentence was too harsh. I'm saying his sentence is not in line with what is typically given in a case like that. Now, in terms of the green card, your green card question, the young lady, the child, she's a child, and her mom were in the United States without papers. There's a system wherein if you are assaulted or you're a victim of a crime, you can use that situation to help you get a green card. So when this all came about, the mom decided that she was going to use this situation to help them get the green card. And I must say they did actually get the green card as a result of this case.
Mm-hmm. So when I spoke to him, and I'm sorry we couldn't play back that interview here, he sort of sounded as if to say that he believed that was somehow a setup for him.
No.
You don't believe that?
What he did was wrong. He is the one who put them in the position to be able to get a green card by his actions.
Right.
It wasn't a setup. It wasn't a setup for him to get. It wasn't a setup. It was not a setup. What he did, he put them in the position to get the green card. But if he didn't do what he did, they could not have used it. So he cannot say he was set up. He wasn't set up. He made a bad choice. He did the wrong thing.
Right.
There's no if and buts around that.
Right. Where is the young lady today? What is
I
how is she living?
don't know as of this moment exactly where, but through hearsay, I heard that she wasn't doing well, which was about maybe 3 years ago, that she wasn't doing well, emotionally and mentally.
Yeah. I'm figuring there might be a lot of counseling and other assistance that she might need.
Yes, and she did get from the moment it happened, because when I took her to the hospital, they directed us to a center for rape victims, and she had started getting counseling from that moment.
Has Mr. Gilbert, is he appearing remorseful for what he did? Do you think that he learned?
I hope that he has learned. I am not one to say, I don't know if he's remorseful or not. And as I keep saying, the only reason we're having this conversation is to look at the judicial system and how individuals are treated for different reasons, and that we don't have a consistent judicial system, and we don't have a fair judicial system, one that treats all alleged criminals the same way. There's so many variations in sentencing, and that his sentence is one wherein he has no chance of redemption, given the fact, even if he had gotten 40 years, you have to remember, it's 48 years without the chance of parole. So there's no way for him to say, what I did was wrong, and here, this is how I'm going to make it up and show to society that I am not one to be fearful of. Because he won't have a chance till he's 65. This happened when he was 25 years old.
Right. Folks are saying, and I'm reading the chat, that at this point in time, this conversation should not even be happening, because he obviously, we're not saying that he is not guilty of the crime. We're saying that he did the crime. Why do you think Mr. Gilbert wants to get this story out, or why does the family want to get this story out at this point in time?
I think it's the no parole. I think it's the fact that he's not getting a chance to show his good side. He's not getting a chance, because this happened, as I said, he was 25 years old at the time. And he won't be able to do anything till he's 65. So his better years, granted, he has said he was wrong. He has admitted that. I know he has said, I was wrong. And he just wants an opportunity to make a redemption, and to show that he's not that one act that he committed. He is more than that. Yes, what he did was wrong, but he would have liked even the opportunity to redeem himself. But with 40 years and no parole, that's going to be hard to do. So That's all we're asking is there a way, can he get another chance? Not necessarily, but no one is saying what he did, that he's not at fault. He has said he was wrong. He has said that. And I'm pretty sure, although he has not outright said, well, sorry, and shown any remorse other than through conversations, because he doesn't have a way to really show anything else, because he's not going to have a chance for parole.
Right. Miss Jill Leslie is saying that, in her opinion, she believed that he should be given parole. A mixed bag of opinions, of course. People are saying that he did it. He damaged her life. Then his life should not be up for parole after 25 years if that's something that she's going to live with for the rest of her life. So a lot of people saying that justice has been served. But at the same time, people are remorseful for him and thinking that there should be some sort of way to redeem himself. What do you think? What do you think would come of this further conversation that this family wants to have on this case? What do you expect to see happen, or what you think the family would like to see happen?
I think the family would like for him to at least be eligible for some kind of parole before the 40 years. He's done 11 years, and anyone who knows him knows that he's way more than his mistake. And most of us are more than our mistakes. And if we look at ourselves and our lives, most of us can look back on a time that we could have ended up in jail, being stupid and doing the wrong thing. But we have to look for opportunities to forgive and help people to get over that mistake that they committed and find a way to heal the young lady as well, and find a way to heal him and move on. But with no opportunity given to him to redeem himself, that's all the family is looking for, an opportunity to redeem himself, because he really he messed up his life and he messed up her life.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Is he appealing? Is he looking to appeal?
He's past all that. And here's the thing. What people don't understand is that if he had money, he wouldn't be in the situation that he's in, because not having the money to get the right lawyers or to fight the judicial system or to work through the judicial system, there's nothing you can do. So he and his family had no money really to do what was to be done. After 11 years, there's no more appealing. You have up to, I think, 2 years after being convicted to appeal. And then there's another process called the habeas corpus, which that is thousands of dollars to do. So it's a process. It's a process. The judicial system is not one wherein you can navigate it without money. You really just can't. Without money, you can't really navigate the judicial system, especially in his case.
Mm-hmm. So if nothing were to happen, or if nothing changed from this time, the next time he might see his freedom is when he turns.
If he lives to be 65. Now, the research will show you that not a lot of people live 40 years in jail.
Yeah. All right, we're going to wrap it up. Right. In fact, I'm still going to keep the phone lines open for folks to call in, but give you an opportunity to give us some final words, some final thoughts on this story right here. Let's see some of your final thoughts, conclusions. Yeah, yes, Cecilia?
Yes.
Yeah, what are some of your final thoughts? We're going to wrap it up right here, because I know we have 45 minutes.
Just thank you for letting me share his story on his behalf. I see the chats, and I see, funny enough, you have people who in his own family saying, let him rot. And there are people who are saying, you know what, he's a good guy. I wish he would have an opportunity to get another chance. So it's just sharing, but somebody wrote in the chat, said, young men, pay attention. Young men, pay attention, because this can happen to any of you all. You know that if you have a 19-year-old having sex with a 16-year-old, that 19-year-old can be in the same situation as this young man who was 25 at the time is in. So it's just for mothers out there who are listening, and you have your young boys, have the conversation with them, let them know what the law is when it comes, and that there is no guaranteed, unless you have a whole bag of money can represent your loved one, you don't know what is going to happen in situations like this. And in this case, yes, he was 25 years old and she was 14, and yes, he was wrong. But there are cases wherein the young men, as I said, are 19. Wherein they're being put in jail for having sex with a 16-year-old. So just be mindful, and everybody keep your head together when it comes to these acts, because it can happen. You may think it would never happen to your loved one, but we are all human beings and we fall short. A lot of times we fall short. There's no saying that you will never do something or somebody you love will never do something. But I hope to God we'll be able to show each other grace, and that we can just keep looking out for each other, and just trying to keep everyone abreast of what it is, what the law is, and that you don't want to get yourself in a situation like this.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Ms. Mitchell, for coming on and chatting with us. We really appreciate your time. And we're going to continue to follow the story. And of course, as I said earlier, that the full extent of the interview, the conversation that I had with Mr. Gilbert from prison, will be updated on the website so you guys could check it out. Ms. Mitchell, thank you again. We'll keep in touch.
Okay, thanks.
All right. So, guys, your opportunity to chime in right now. Open up the phone lines for the next 10 minutes to get your perspective now. Let us talk. Let us conversate. If nothing else, right? If nothing else, I hope that young men are watching this program. I hope that young men are watching this program and paying keen attention to this, because it's something that we speak very strongly and boldly against. We continue to say, any kind of sexual molestation, especially, not only, but especially in terms of a minor, essentially what's happening is that minor is damaged, quite possibly for the rest of her life. I know people that's in there that got sexually molested in their teens, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 going up the road. And up to today, they're 60-something, going on 65, probably 70, and they still have psychological effects of that. So it's a long-term thing, right? It's a long-term thing. So men in particular, boys, mothers, fathers, and oftentimes I think one of the blessing I say that I could have is that my son is the producer of this program. So he's listening, all of this stuff, right? Is the information that boys and also young women, mothers and fathers need to listen to. Mr. Gilbert's story could be a blueprint of possibly how not or never to behave in a situation like that. Let's jump to the phone line, say this caller. Caller, live, where are you calling us from? Hello?
Doug Howard, calling from Brooklyn, New York.
Doug Howard, my friend, how are you doing, sir?
Hi, good, sir. As I listen to your program today, right?
Yes.
I can't help it, because when you knowingly violate young people, whether it's consensual or non-consensual. Everybody knows the age. Everybody knows what's happening with some of these adults. If he's 25 years old and the girl is 14 years old, you don't need a bigger no-no than that. That gives you all kind of red flags. Even if she was 15, 16, even at the age of consent, which I do not believe about in a lot of these islands, because the age of consent is 15, 16, 17 in some of them islands. I think that is kind of a Russian roulette with young people's minds.
Yes.
And sometimes, Junior, some of these guys don't take no for an answer, especially when they're manipulating a younger mind.
Yes.
So I am telling you, I have no sorrow. I have no sorrow for people who do like that. None. I don't care who they be.
Right.
Even if it's my own son, I have no sorrow for them because they know what they was doing is wrong. So now they should pay the full penalty of the law. And I think they should do this more often to more people to send a message. Because as the lady says, which I disagree with the whole team of that, is that some people will get 4 years and 3 years, another one gets 40 years. I believe all of them should get 40, in my opinion.
Right.
Because what they do is violating these people over time, and these people suffer the consequences years and years and years after. They still suffer the consequences of these violations. You hear people talking about, oh, I was this when I was 15 years old, and I still haven't put it into my 30s and 40s. So from me, I think they should throw the book at every single one of them. Have a good day, Junior.
All right, thank you so much, Doug. Yeah, someone asked a question earlier, and that's why I like to have a different set of people with different set of opinions, and I value that. I appreciate that. Someone said earlier, so Junior, why are you having this conversation here? Why is this even a topic? Why are you wasting your time talking about this stuff? But what everyone have to understand, there is a very direct and indirect way to deal with things. And I believe that, as we said, everyone have a story to tell. As some people might think that it is not a topic that we should be discussing, think about the possibility, right? The possibility of a would-be offender watching a program like this and seeing the difficulties, the issues, the problems, the trauma, the stress that this man is going through. Hopefully, it's a deterrent for anybody who is thinking about perpetrating this type of act. So don't think that we are here endorsing this situation. We will never sit on a podium. I will never sit here and endorse anyone that sexually molests anyone. And the idea is to get the message across. And the message that we're sending, yes, we're saying that he deserves to share his story. His family deserve to speak out the story. That's his family. If they want to do that, that's fine. But at the same time, the overarching message is, listen, some guys in the Caribbean feel like they could just, go mess with a 6-year-old, and then, they get 2 years in prison, and we should project that and show this and speak about this. Nah, that's not how it is all over the world. So it's important that we continue to have this conversation. Again, the family have every right and reason to speak about it. He have every right and reason to share his story. But there's a direct and indirect way of sending the message, and I think that was accomplished here today. Again, 718-701-5720. That's our number right here, right along live. We're going to open up the phone line again for another 5 minutes. And as I said earlier, I am happy that my son is sitting here listening to this. A lot of people probably should send this to their child, send this to their girl child, send this to their boy child, and have this conversation with the young ones. Because even if this young man was 19 years old and she was 16 years old, a 3-year difference, you would say they're both teenagers. he still could face the same penalties as this man who is in his 20s at the time of the incident. So it's an important conversation to have. Thank you, Miss J, for chiming in and talking to us. Jeff John is saying that yes, Junior, he messed up her entire life, and she still don't have no remorse for the child. You ask her about the child, and she didn't even know. We can't reach. Why can't she reach out to the child and show her sympathies? And we're not saying that they didn't. We don't know if they did, so we can't conclude that they didn't. All right. But anyway, guys, thank you for watching. J Wonder, thank you so much. We appreciate you so much. Saying that, Junior, for some people, it doesn't matter. They're just wicked and cold-hearted. Yes, we need to have that conversation. I surely believe so as well. The interview that I had some problem playing right after the program, I'm going to upload it over to the Ride Along page so you guys can listen to the conversation that I had with Mr. Gilbert. Good night. Farewell. Catch you guys again. Tomorrow is nomination day here. Nomination day in Grenada election, and we're going to have Andy, I was tempted to say Andy Mitchell there, Andy Williams tomorrow on Ride Along Live. And we're keeping an eye on Grenada election. Don't forget here, Ride Along Live, Election Fever, the place for all your election updates 2022. Good night, guys. Catch you tomorrow. Bye-bye. Good evening.
Sisters and brothers, I ask you to hear me just on this point. Examine the team of the National Democratic Congress. You just examine them. Compare them one by one. And what you see is an experienced group of people ready to take this country forward.
I'm Deacon Mitchell, and I endorse this message.
That was a paid political advertisement by the National Democratic Congress.
Chicks Export Limited, Toronto, Canada. Shipping barrels and other cargo to Grenada in 3 weeks, including custom clearing and home delivery to anywhere in Grenada. They source, purchase, and ship new and used anything. Call or WhatsApp Eric, aka Greens, on 416-569-9755. That's 416-569-9755. Check us out on Facebook at Green Chicks Export or email us at greenchicksexport@gmail.com.
It's hard to imagine this is how 2020 started. But across the world, dozens were falling ill with a mysterious virus that would ultimately change life as we know it. Chinese health authorities are still working to identify the virus.
The COVID-19 pandemic is now casting doubt over the 2021
As soon as it gets open, I can. 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 I'm tired, see home and need out.
Why you talking the job must pay? All you understand, job must play.
Show the party turn up tonight. Because we out and bad and the people better we causing trouble. Trouble, trouble. Just what show we causing trouble. Trouble, trouble.
You don't carry the fire that my ancestors have given to me. You merely adopted the job. I was was born in it. This is job religion, job religion. This is job religion, job religion. This is job religion, job religion. This is job religion, job religion.
Well, it's on Ride Along, so it's happening here.
Came over here. What does it mean? You know, I grew up in what I guess you call a typical family.
We break all the stories, and that's just a fact. And that's why everyone has a story to tell.
Ride Along Live, I mean, yeah, it's the real deal.